Are you ready for real excitement? Blood-churning, heart-thumping, ultra action? Well, this isn't just a sports show, it's war. Monster War!
Let's get revved up for the hottest hour on television. I'm Luann Lee, and this is Monster Wars. Whatever your impression was of monster truck racing, it's about to change in a big way. The U.S. Hot Rod Association has created the ultimate TV sport for viewers of all ages. As a matter of fact, there's enough competition, action, and drama in the next hour to rival the Indy 500, the World Series, and the NBA playoffs combined. I like to think of Monster Wars as the Super Bowl of motorsports. But listen, don't take my word for it. Buckle up your seatbelt. Let's blast off on the highway to the danger zone. As you can see, on Monster Wars, anything can happen. The only predictable aspect to the show is that you'll be at the edge of your seat. Guaranteed. I promised you action, so let's get right to it. The trucks that compete in Monster Wars are the world's top vehicles, and the drivers are the #1 athletes in the sport. They'll need all of their skills for the ultimate challenge just ahead. Jim Davidson has the lowdown on today's incredibly tough race course.
You see this? You're looking at 142 feet. That's 47 1/3 yards. Folks, that's 1,704 inches. We're talking 4,328.16 centimeters. By any measure, it's the longest straight approach on the Monster Wars circuit, but why do we care? Because monster trucks weighing over 10,000 pounds are going to seem lighter than air. They're going to hit these ramps at speeds of over 60 miles per hour, and then they're going to take flight. They'll cross the finish line in midair right here at the end of these cars, and hopefully they'll land somewhere on the track. I'll be back in the pit area keeping myself out of harm's way and bringing you all the stories from behind the scenes. And the guy with the play-by-play, well, he's the high flyer himself, YOLO.
Thank you, Jim. Beautiful Lebanon Valley, New York is the place for Monster Wars, show #1, race #1. A sellout crowd, and we're ready to rock and roar with the incredible monsters of the United States Hot Rod Association. Our first matchup between Alan Pezo and the Predator, qualifying fourth today, going against Ray Piorkowski and the awesome Invader. Ray Piorkowski from St. Louis, Missouri. Ray up in the cockpit, ready to check things out. There he goes, checking the helmet. And now, the Predator, Alan Pezo. The crowd loves this truck, a $125,000 mega monster ready to roar.
This is it, Invader. Our very first meeting of the season. And you can bet that this will also be our last.
Eat my space dust, pitiful Predator! You have made a mistake of galactic proportions! You're lucky you have 9 lives, because you're about to lose one now!
Get ready to go down in history as the first loser on Monster Wars!
And it's showtime! Predator, Invader, and Predator opens it up right here on the straightaway for the win. And the clock tells the story, folks. 8.22 for Predator, 9.18 for Invader. How did it happen? Right here on the starting line. Predator gets a great lead. They call that a hole shot in monster truck racing. And now, over the first set of cars he has set up, look at him open up that lead right there. The mighty Predator, the 10,000-plus pound vehicle, takes a win here at Lebanon Valley, New York, over the Invader. Now we're going to take you for a ride inside the cab of the most feared monster truck Gravedigger. And he gets set to do battle with UFO coming up next.
UFO? Ha! The only one out in the air today is Gravedigger. When I take flight, I'll burn the competition.
What faces the monsters here? Only one of the most challenging courses we'll see all year long. And the Goodyear trackbacks tell the story. It all starts on the starting line right here with a great hole shot for each one of these monsters. That will take them over the hill and over that first set of cars. And then it's down on the ground as quickly as possible to gain speed on this 142-foot straightaway and line up perfectly for this, our second set of cars. A good leap here will take them over the finish line, and that's what it's all about, getting across the finish line first. This is what the track looks like from the driver's point of view. As we get set for round number 1, race number 2. Our combatants today, Dennis Anderson driving the Gravedigger out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. He qualified second. He goes against Bob Fisher and the mighty UFO from Pennsauken, New Jersey. Bob Fisher driving a Ford UFO, and there he is right now, ready to go against the Digger. The Digger, a Chevrolet, and Dennis Anderson signaling he's ready. Ever wonder what's going through a monster truck driver's mind, what he has to think about? Let's go inside the Digger now with Dennis and find out.
All right, got a red headlights on. UFO's consistent, but he's not real fast. So we'll see what we can do with him. Yes, sir. Ready to go, Bob?
There goes the Digger going against UFO. He opens up the lead here. Look at him go, Digger! Over the set of cars and to the win. Gravedigger gets an easy win, 8.98 seconds against UFO's 9.16.
That was a power puff run, man. Easy, easy.
Was it so easy? And as Anderson makes it look that way, he comes up and over the first set of cars, and he has it won right here. Down the ground, he opens up the margin of victory. There it goes, the win for Dennis Anderson. Now the ISOCAM picks up the Gravedigger. And watch the shocks on this thing. Just one little bounce, he's back down on the ground over the cars. Watch the bounce. Nothing at all. He gets it down, digs in, and gets traction. And that's what it takes to win here at Lebanon Valley. And now let's go back into the pits where Jim Davidson has more with the Gravedigger.
Dennis Anderson, a great ride against UFO. Take me and everybody else through that run with the Gravedigger.
Well, man, we pulled up to the line, and hey, it felt great. I wanted to check out that right lane. I ran the left lane before. The ramps felt good. I think if I hit them faster, the truck's going to land a lot smoother.
Tell me which lane is working out better.
Right now, I feel like the left lane was a little smoother. And what I'll do is I'll have lane choice. I'm going to switch back, and I'll try the left lane depending on who I get next. I feel like if I can put him away pretty easy, I'm going to jump back in that left lane and really make it on mine then.
You sounded pretty confident tonight.
Well, I don't know. You know, the truck's working great. And, hey, we just got to try it, man. We're going to go all the way to the finals here. If we can pull it off, we pull it off. If we don't, there'll be another week.
Yeah, but Dennis, there are 8 other trucks standing in your way to victory here tonight. Now, our next matchup hits 2 great monster trucks, guys that are veterans of the sport and know what it's all about. We're talking, of course, about David Morris, the Equalizer out of Springfield, Tennessee, and the world champion, Fred Shafer's Bearfoot from Pontoon Beach, Illinois. Freddie qualified first with a time of 7 seconds. Fred Shafer, the granddaddy of them all. He started one of the original monster trucks and has been running them since the mid-70s. And now we're set, Equalizer and Bearfoot. And this is what they have to maneuver. Watch the green light up in the upper right-hand corner for the start. And there we go. Riding in the front of Bearfoot. Side by side, Bearfoot has some problems. And Bearfoot, 7.18 to Equalizer 7.50, but did he stay on the course? Let's look. He must keep both tires over the cars at all times on the approach. I'm not sure he did it there. I'm not sure that Fred Shafer, no, he didn't. When he approached that first ramp, he did not do it. Second set of cars, first ramp, Brent Shafer's all over the place. The tire was not on the cars. They're going to call that a minor infraction. The United States Hot Rod Association has ruled that a minor infraction. Brent Shafer loses it. And this is where it happens. Look, he goes off to the side. The tire's not on the ramp. He straightens up here, but it's too late. He must have approached that ramp with both tires over the cars. Equalizer, he had a great run. Not as fast as Bearfoot, but David Morris was able to keep it on the track. You can see it right there. So Equalizer gets lucky, picks up the win, thanks to Bearfoot's minor infraction.
This is definitely not the kind of victory that I savor. I like to win fair and square. So here's some advice, Bearfoot. Next time, keep your wheels on the ground and give the Equalizer an opportunity to beat you in a test that's just and true. I'll be waiting for my chance at a rematch.
We've completed 3 races thus far in round 1, and there are still 2 to go. Here's how the first 6 trucks did time-wise. Bearfoot's minor infraction may have cost him the victory, but his time of 7.18 still stands, virtually guaranteeing he'll return in round 2. Equalizer, Predator, and Gravedigger will definitely be back, but Invader and UFO, both losers, are hoping their times are good enough to advance them to the next round. We'll find out who stays and who goes right after this, so don't go away.
Little truckers, it's time the rookies get rocked right out of this race. Monster Patrol, you won't know which way is up when I'm through with you. And the proof, it's in the pounding. Yeah!
There is the Carolina Crusher, the big monster truck out of Wadesboro, North Carolina, with Gary Porter at the helm as he stages for round number 1, race number 4. The Carolina Crusher will be going against Paul Shafer's Monster Patrol. That truck out of Portage, Indiana. Monster Patrol qualified 8th, a kind of a slow qualifying time for him. And Gary Porter's Carolina Crusher was right up there. He qualified 3rd. Now, Paul Shafer may be having a little bit of a problem here with the Monsters because he's used to mud racing. A flat track where you got to run down 80 feet of mud and then stop. But he's moved up to the Monsters now, and he's going to be doing a lot of bouncing around. He's got to learn to maneuver this tough course. Gary Porter is a veteran at the sport, and he has a camera inside the truck, so let's go inside the Carolina Crusher and go for a ride with Gary Porter.
All right, y'all get ready.
There we go, green light. Gary Porter takes us for a ride. And Monster Patrol has some problems. He nosedived off the first set of cars and never could correct it. Gary Porter has an easy win, 7.27 versus 11.12.
Woo, that was a wild ride. Were y'all hanging on?
The guy that should have been hanging on was Paul Shafer in Monster Patrol. He takes a nosedive right here, bounces all over the track, and he is out of it. Experience pays, and Paul Shafer just needs to get some more experience up in the cockpit of Monster Patrol. Boom. That's the end. He's done. Gary Porter, flawless run for him. He punches it to get over the first hill, goes over that first set of cars, backs out of it. Now, planted firmly, he goes and sails on to victory and sails on into the pits where Jim Davidson is waiting for the Crusher.
Gary, let me borrow you for a couple seconds. You're spending all night underneath the Crusher. You just beat Monster Patrol. How was the run?
It felt pretty good. You know, over the first jump, I think I handled it pretty well. The second jump, I might have hit it a little bit too hard. And then I wasn't exactly squared up for the third jump. I think the ramp is a little sideways. I buzzed an adjustment off on my truck, and that's what it made it twist when it was up in the air.
Okay, you're getting as much speed as possible in between the first set of cars and the second set of cars.
No, yeah, we're not running full throttle here. We're probably running about 65 to 75% of the speed that we can run out here.
Are you going to get the full throttle at any time tonight?
We probably will, because each race is going to be harder and harder, and plus we'll be getting more dialed into the track, and I think by the finals we'll be running 100%.
So we're looking major air, aren't we?
We sure are. On these ramps right here, the distance we have 150 feet between the 2 jumps, it's going to be major air.
Well, we can look forward to seeing Air Porter running in round 2. You can bet you'll see some major aerial acrobatics from these monster trucks as the competition continues. It's hard to believe they each weigh a minimum of 10,000 pounds. With all this excitement, it's no surprise that attendance at U.S. Hot Rod Association events increases by the hundreds of thousands each year. It's easy to assume that the majority of the audience is male, but the fact is millions of women are getting turned on to the action, especially now that they're tuning in to Monster Wars. So we decided to find out, is there someone out there, male or female, who could be considered the sport's ultimate fan? Jim Davidson has the surprising answer.
Check it out, over 3 million, that's 3 6 zeros and 2 commas, 3 million people, that's a lot of people. Check out Monster Truck action every year. They come out to the stands, they see it, but think about it, there's millions more who watch us every week right there where you are. So we thought it'd be kind of cool if we checked it out, went and found the ultimate Monster Truck fan. And we think we've done so. By day, she's a travel agent. But after hours, she's monster mad!
I know every truck, I know every driver, it is the action, I just love it all. It's just really sexy. It's just a rush, a real rush. You wanna go?
You are, so we understand, the self-acclaimed Monster Truck biggest, baddest fan in the world.
That's me. I love it. Put me on a plane, drive, walk, anyway, just get me there and I'll be there. This is a Monster Truck map of Debbie's. This is the Monster Truck shows that I've been to this year.
No. Deb's Monster Truck venue map. Deb, you've been to all these places marked in blue?
Every one of them marked in blue.
That's very impressive. Deb Sebastian, Monster Truck's biggest fan.
Hi there.
It's time to back out, Deb.
Please.
Sure, Deb. There you go.
Thank you.
He knows her name.
I'm a fan, I tell you. I'm a big one here. I know you're star of the show. Treat's on me today. Let's go. Come on. I'm so excited waiting all week. I need one of those, and that hat up there with Predator on it. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm fine, how are you?
How's it going?
Good.
How you doing?
Yes. Hey, how you doing? It's great to see you.
You know Debbie?
Sure I do. I know all my fans.
Told you.
You think maybe you'd sign mine? Here?
All right, well, you have to get to the end of the line.
Yes! To the end of the line, sir.
Being the ultimate fan definitely has its perks, and just watching Debbie today convinced me she deserves every perk she gets.
The big monsters are staging for round number 1, race number 5, our 5th and final race of this round between Taurus, Eldon Depew out of Granite City, Illinois, and Wayne Smozanek driving Tropical Thunder up from Jupiter, Florida. Tropical Thunder trying to redeem himself after a very disappointing 10th in qualifying. Now, it's very, very important to note that all of the winners from round number 1 will move on to round number 2, but also the top 3 fast losers will come back. And here goes Taurus with a great hole shot again. This is where it's all being won here at Lebanon Valley, right on the starting line. And Wayne Smozanek still having lots of problems. Taurus gets the win 7.85 to 10 seconds for Tropical Thunder. That's lower than his qualifying time. Wayne Smozanek, it's just not happening for him today. Seems to be having some fuel problems. He can't even get the power up to get over that first set of cars. And Taurus is just out of there. He is running great. Again, Eldon Depew, a veteran, seems to have figured out this course very quickly in qualifying, and now in round number 1 picks up an easy win. So Taurus moves on to round number 2, and as for Tropical Thunder, he gets a whole week to work on his truck.
This Wrangler hit pay dirt, yeah! Tropical Thunder venture over them there hills. Try raining on somebody else's parade. Taurus kicked your gas.
Round 1's over, but the action's just beginning. Let's take a look at which trucks advance to round 2. Carolina Crusher, Equalizer, Taurus, Predator, and Gravedigger were all victorious in the first round, adding 10 points each to their qualifying scores and automatically advancing to the next round. Now here are the losers, each earning only an additional 5 points for their efforts. Bearfoot 7.18 would have been good enough for a win if only he'd stayed on the course. At least he'll advance along with the other 2 fastest losers, UFO and Invader. From here on in, winning is all that counts. There is no second chance for the losers of our next races. So you know these mean machines will be putting it all on the line. Let's see how they match up for round 2. Carolina Crusher will square off against Taurus. Predator has his sights set on permanently grounding UFO. Gravedigger and Invader will mix it up, and starting us off, a rematch of a first-round race, Bearfoot versus Equalizer. You can bet Bearfoot will be trying to make up for his near disqualification in their first meeting. The monsters are staging for round 2, so let's send it back out to Joe Lowe.
Thank you, Luann. The crowd is screaming for more. I want to see more. And you at home, strap yourself in for round number 2. The two trucks staged right now, Bearfoot and Equalizer. Let's see what makes them tick. The Bearfoot Dodge, the world champion, is powered by a Keith Black Hemi Dodge, putting out 1,500 horsepower. The Chevy Equalizer, powered by 1,200-plus horses. He's about 150 pounds heavier. It's not going to be horsepower that wins it for Equalizer. It's going to be driving skill. That's what it's all about here in Lebanon Valley.
Here's your chance, Bearfoot. Once you do the right thing and stay on course. It's not going to matter, though, because it's my destiny to defeat you. All things being equal this time, the Equalizer shall be victorious. That I vow.
The trucks are staged for race number 1 of round number 2. Bearfoot and Equalizer, green lights, there they go. Bearfoot has problems from the very start, and Equalizer opens up and goes for the win. But what happened to the world champion? Look at this, he's still running the race. 8.49 for Equalizer, 10.66 for Bearfoot. Fred Shafer has all sorts of problems. Maybe it was the mind game from the earlier infraction. Maybe he wanted to make sure he stayed on the track. Maybe it was a power problem. I don't know what was going on, but definitely Bearfoot did not have things ready and dialed in for this matchup with the Equalizer. He not only didn't get any air, he's crawling over the cars. And David Morris gets the first win of the night in that very tough left-hand lane. He's down in the pits with Jim Davidson.
David Morris, did you figure out something a lot of people have been trying to do? Is that left lane better than the right lane?
The left lane is definitely better than the right because the right one's on an angle because of the way the track's built. So if I had my choice, I'd like to be in that left lane.
Well, you had your choice, and you put Fred Shafer and the Bearfoot over in the right lane. Tell me about the run.
Okay, I'm basically trying to go over that dirt hill, you know, full throttle, and just let the truck ride down like it's in a wheelie, and then feather it back over the first jump so that I'm in control, that I can really hammer it toward the last jump.
Okay, you're mashing it. How fast are you going before you hit that last set of cars?
Well, I'm not really sure, Jim, you know how fast I'm going. I'm just going as fast as I can possibly go.
No time to look down at the speedometer?
No time.
There's more action to come with Taurus taking on Carolina Crusher next.
Taurus! After you take a licking from me, you won't be ticking! I'll tick you off, Crusher. It's high noon, and I've got a score to settle with you that's as big as the size of Texas. This race ain't big enough for the both of us. Crusher, whoa! Let me give you some constructive advice. Stay out of my way, or pay!
Right back with more wild action between Carolina Crusher and Taurus. The Taurus truck is driven by Eldon Depew out of Granite City, Illinois, one of the newest trucks on the circuit, weighing in at the minimum 10,000 pounds. He's right on the money, pushing out over 1,200 horses. The Carolina Crusher, also another very, very light truck in monster truckdom. He's putting out 1,400 horses. Gary Porter, let's go up inside the cockpit with you as he calls the race.
All right, we're going for it. We lined up different than we have before. Let's hope it pays off.
Gary hopes it pays off, and Eldon Depew over in Taurus says, hey, I hope it doesn't. Now, the U.S. Hot Rod official gives a thumbs up to both drivers, signifying that all systems are up and operational. The green light says, let's go, and there they go. Taurus and Carolina Crusher side by side. Taurus seems to be opening up a lead, and now Crusher comes from behind. Man, that was too close for me to call from here. What about you, Gary?
I don't know. The close race.
The closest race of the night thus far, and the official U.S. Hot Rod Association results are in. Taurus wins it at less than a tenth of a second. They were evenly matched at the start, and then Taurus starts to power out. He gains a little bit of a lead here, and then Carolina Crusher gets down Diggs and starts to catch up to him, but he runs out of track. And Taurus, you can see the margin of victory, less than 1/10 of a second and about 1 tire length. Gary Porter and the Carolina Crusher gave it his best shot, but he couldn't defeat the high-toting Taurus and Eldon Depew.
Well, ha! Another one bites the dust. Equalizer, I'm setting my sights on you next. Get ready for a showdown.
Round 1, race 3 between the Predator, driven by Alan Pezo, and Bob Fisher's UFO. The Predator is all Chevy, with 1,800 horses weighing in at slightly more than 10,000 pounds. The UFO truck is a Ford, a little more weight, 10,500 pounds, but half the horsepower, only 900 horses. Ford and Chevy match up, green light, and there they go. Predator off to a good start. He opens up the lead. Watch this. He's all over the track. He's all over the track. The time, 7.75 seconds to UFO's 8.10, but it doesn't do him any good because he left the track. He was not on the track at the finish. And what a way to lose a race. To run the fastest, but he left the track entirely, and he's disqualified. He is out of there. This shows you what happened. He got thrown off to the left, and he didn't even stay on the track. He is disqualified by USHRA rules.
Disqualified! The very thought of it makes my hair stand straight on end. Ooh, that was a bad call for sure. But I'll catapult next week. Ooh, boy, am I pissed.
Action continues as we determine who's going to semifinal action. Is it Ray Piorkowski and the Invader, or Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger?
I'm dead set on winning today. No goals about it.
Gravedigger, I've got more staying power than you. It is written in the stars that I will be triumphant. When all worlds collide, it will be devastating.
Invader, it'll be a cold day in hell when you're able to defeat me.
The trucks are staged for this round to determine who's going to semifinal action. Gravedigger or the Invader. The Invader truck out of St. Louis, Missouri. Ray Piorkowski built this truck and campaigns the truck himself. And Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger, well, he's built himself up. He has an entire crew that travels with him on the circuit. The truck weighing in at 10,000 pounds, 1,400 horses, versus the Invader's 1,300 horsepower and one of the heaviest trucks on the circuit with over 11,000 pounds. Let's hop aboard the Gravedigger and go for a ride with Dennis Anderson.
The headlights on, wheels are straight, just locked back and low, and we're getting ready for takeoff. Take off over a dirt hill, 3 cars, 145-foot long straightaway, jump to the finish. All right, thumbs up, we're ready.
He was smoking as Gravedigger wins that one, 7.56 to Invaders, 8.18. You were inside the truck. This is what it looked like to the fans outside. Digger led it all the way. An easy win for Gravedigger. Let's send it back to Luann in the studio.
You've probably noticed the fans saved some of their biggest cheers for Dennis Anderson's truck. Well, there are a lot of reasons to dig the Gravedigger. He's always ready to put on a show, even if it means risking life and limb. Dennis has found himself upside down on the racetrack more than once in his career. If you ask Dennis what scares him, he replies, "I have no fear," a quote that doesn't quite thrill his wife, Julie. My fearless co-host, Jim Davidson, ventured down south to Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, the appropriately named hometown of the Gravedigger.
I've always done wild stunts, drove wild. Guess it's in my blood. I've been like that all my life. I've got a reputation to live up to, so I'm going to be the wild man out here the rest of my life, I guess.
Watching Dennis Anderson, the Gravedigger, drive fans crazy got me psyched to come and find out if this guy's really as wild off the track as he is on the track. I'm only a mile away from his place in North Carolina. I'm about to find out. Time to unmask the Gravedigger. This is nice. What's up, Dennis?
What's up, man?
Nice to see you.
Glad you could make it.
What is this place?
Well, it's going to be, it's not yet, but it's going to be a place for the fans to come in, check out. You know, we have people from Ohio, New Jersey, New York, all on the northern East Coast. That's why we created this deal here, and it's like my own little digger land is what it is, you know.
Away from Digger's dungeon, the wild man always has his pedal to the metal on one of his fast toys. This 4x4 is a carbon copy of the real Gravedigger, only this baby can hug the highway. Let's match this baby. What's the speed limit here, Dennis?
Speed limit is 55.
Dennis, where's the speedometer?
Right here.
What does it say?
Speedometer says 40 miles an hour.
Jam on it! Where's Gravedigger start?
I just made it up 13 years ago. I used to pick on my buddy there that had a nice fixed-up street truck, and I had the old junker, you know, and I told him I'd take this old junk and dig you a grave.
So began his career of burying the competition. So they went and pinned you as the wild man while you were mud bogging?
I was the weekend warrior, wild man. I mean, if my old house that I lived in, if the roof was leaking on that thing, man, and Julie said, hey, our roof is leaking, instead of getting some shingles for it, I'd stick a 5-gallon bucket underneath them and say, there you go, baby, but I need me a Holly carburetor to make this thing go for the next weekend.
Now the wild kid with the mean machine is Monster Truck's #1 attraction.
I drive rough. You know, there's no doubt about it. We've taken some wild rides in the old panel truck, but hey, I've survived a bunch of them, and people love it, man. If I had a choice, if I had to turn the truck over, I'd rather for it to be in front of 30,000 people and in the finals when it happens.
Walking in his father's footsteps, 7-year-old Adam also likes to ride wild. It may be a four-wheeler today, but tomorrow, it's Monster Trucks. But Adam's got a long road to haul because back on the racetrack, his old man, the wild man, Dennis Anderson, is at the top of the heap.
Dennis will be back in business in just a moment. He's getting ready to face off against UFO in semifinal action. It's a rematch of their round 1 race, so get ready to rock and rumble right after this.
It's semifinal action, and this crowd is being treated to a monster show. We are ready to go. Gravedigger, Dennis Anderson going up against Bob Fisher and UFO. Dennis, of course, has that onboard camera. We'll be riding up with him.
All right, Bobby boy, get us lined up here. All right, whoa, Digger.
Whoa, Digger. Whoa, UFO. There's the green light. Go, guys! Digger gets that early lead and just blows off. UFO, Gravedigger, look out! Whoa! Whoa! Dennis turns it over! Dennis turns it over! The crowd's on their feet! USHRA officials come up, they turn off the fuel, they turn off the power, and they check to make sure that Dennis is okay. Bob Fisher runs over. This is what happened. The Digger, an easy win. And then something happened. The rear end of the truck just swung around, came over in front of UFO. Dennis tried to stop it and couldn't, and over he went. The Gravedigger is on its side. The safety officials are checking Dennis out. And let's see, is everything all right? Here comes the wild man. Dennis Anderson is okay. The crowd goes nuts. Let's send it on down to Monster Wars' own Jim Davidson, who's with Dennis, and see what happens.
Dennis, man, are you all right?
Hey, Jim, it's unbelievable. I tell you, man, I was kind of worried about that right-hand lane. You know, I slowed down a little bit there. UFO caught up. I went ahead and pinned that big motor, man. Once I jumped the cars, it was slapping the tail end around from side to side. Once I got into a power slide, man, it went over. There was nothing I could do about it. And
Dennis, I know you're kind of caught up in the moment right now, but seriously, are you okay? That truck was spinning and flipping everywhere.
yeah, I think so, Jim. I got a left elbow over here, and it banged into the door pretty good as the truck rolled over. My shoulder's hurting a little bit, but honestly, right now, there's no blood, there's no open wounds. I've got every joint moving on me, so I feel like I'm good to go.
What athletes these guys are. Take a look at this ride from Dennis's perspective.
Whoa, baby. Yeah, we turned her over. She's over. That's what the people want. That's what they got. I got a tore-up truck.
The crew is working on getting the Gravedigger righted. It's up!
Whoa, I may be in grave trouble, but I'm not undead yet. Save your epitaph and dig this. The power of the netherworld will pull me through. It'll be a dark day for whoever dares challenge Gravedigger.
Folks, Dennis is back up in the truck. He's actually trying to start the Gravedigger. Can he get it going? Yes, the digger starts. The digger starts and the crowd goes nuts. But the question is, can he get the truck race ready for the finals? If not, UFO will come back and face the winner of our next matchup, Taurus and Equalizer. Taurus, driven by Eldon Depew, and the Equalizer with David Morris aboard. Morris has done extremely well so far tonight. Can he do it again against Taurus?
So it's down to this, Taurus. A face-off against someone I thought was my friend. Well, I hope you cooperate and allow me to fulfill my destiny. But now I'll have to bring an end to your outlaw ways.
Nothing spurs me on more than defeating you, Equalizer. The next frontier for me is the finals. I've got a bullet with your name on it, and I'm gonna shoot to kill.
Let's do it, cowboy.
We are staged. It's race time. Taurus and Equalizer. Equalizer and Taurus side by side. They come off. Now it's straightaway time, and Taurus gets the win. David Morris and the Equalizer had lots of handling problems. 7.03 for Taurus, 7.33 for Equalizer. Equalizer was doing well here. He had no problems whatsoever. This seemed to be what threw him off. He went sideways, bounced around a little bit, the rear end bottomed out, and that threw him sideways. Taurus took advantage of it. He moves on to the finals. Does Eldon Depew have this track figured out or what? That right-hand lane, he seems to have owned it all night long. Taurus, what a great job of driving, and he knows he's in the finals. But who's he going to face? It could be UFO. And that would be an easy win. Or Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger. They're frantically working on that truck back in the pits, trying to get it ready. Everybody's helping them out. Can the Gravedigger answer the call? We'll find out.
Dennis Anderson, in typical Gravedigger style, was going to the extremes once again, pushing the envelope, but this one cost him. It was only the semis against UFO, but he ended up rolling over at the end of the run. He came down off the ramp. He was in great shape. A typical Dennis Anderson run. He was really putting on a show for the fans here, but then he cut right in front of UFO, got squirrely here at the end. All four wheels came down, shot in front of UFO, just missed the collision there, but at the end of it, he turned over, and the tow truck had to come to lift him up. You know what the interesting and amazing part is? Dennis Anderson's coming back.
But is he running at 100%, Jim? Because he's going to need it to defeat Taurus. Taurus and Eldon Depew stages right now as Dennis Anderson comes up to the starting line. Taurus got here by defeating Tropical Thunder, Carolina Crusher, and the Equalizer. The Digger, well, he didn't have it very easy either. He took out UFO, then Invader, and UFO one more time. But that was the one that cost him the rollover. Now, Dennis Anderson is up in the Gravedigger, and he faces the toughest competition of the night. Let's watch as Dennis stages. Thumbs up. It's showtime. This is our final. Taurus and Gravedigger. Gravedigger and Taurus. Even Digger pulls it out. At the finish line, Digger finds the extra horsepower and pulls out the win. Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger. What an incredible win. Watch this. Over the cars, they are even. And now, right here, Dennis Anderson finds the horsepower it takes to get the win.
I've risen from the deepest, darkest depths of despair to prevail. Fear to you, Taurus. Rest in pieces.
An unbelievable win for the Gravedigger. The crowd's on its feet, and Monster Wars' Jim Davidson is working his way up to Dennis.
Dennis, this is absolutely incredible, man. I cannot believe it. You've created miracles here in West Lebanon. You got air coming out the tire, smoke coming out the back at the end of the semis. You're laying on your roof. You shouldn't even have been here.
Hey, Jim, it's been a crazy night for me, but you know what, man? I don't care. I'm here at the finals. I won the finals, man, and that's one thing that I like to do. I love pleasing the crowd, but turning the truck over, getting it back on its wheels, and coming back and kicking butt and winning the race, you can't ask for any better, man. That was it. It's been a great night for us, great night for the fans. It's cool, man. I love it.
Hollywood could not have come up with a more exciting ending for today's competition. I promised at the beginning of the show that this was the Super Bowl of motorsports, but I take it back. The Super Bowl is much too boring to compare with Monster Wars. Let's take a look at the scoring after the first competition of the season. Gravedigger gained 48 out of a possible 50 points to take the early lead. If he had qualified first rather than second, he'd have the full 50 points. Taurus's 40 points places him in second, followed by the Equalizer. UFO and the Crusher are fourth and fifth, respectively, with Predator getting off to a slow start in sixth place.